Hey guys, so today we're going to start the first of 3 lessons where we're going to not only build up some more independence with our left hand, but we're also going to find ways to make drum beats more interesting, more intricate, more usable across some different flavors of rock and metal by moving the left hand around the kit a little bit more. So like I said, this will be the first of 3 lessons that we're going to do. Today is going to be simpler beats, some things that are a little bit less intricate, but so as to keep things a little bit more interesting, we're going to play in mostly odd time signatures. So nothing today is actually going to be in 4/4 time. Okay, so let's jump into it. The first thing I want to call out is that this time signature is going to be in 6/8 time, but it's not going to be counted as, you're not going to count the 6/8. It's going to be counted a little bit more like how you would in like an orchestra, how they would count in 6/8. So how they would usually do it is that they would count 1, 2. That's how they would count the whole measure of 6/8. So the 1 lands on the first 8th note and the 2 lands on the 4th 8th note. And then you feel the beats kind of almost as triplets in between. This beat is intended to be played on the ride. It's very simple, as you can see. Just, right hand going on the ride, right foot on the bass drum. Snare is going to be hitting with the left hand, and occasionally it's going to come over to the ride and hit there as well. Okay, so for this second exercise, we're going to build on top of what we just did. Basically, it's the same exact thing for the right hand and the kick, but the left hand is going to be coming over to the right a lot more. So whereas last time I believe we hit the ride with the left hand once, this time we're going to do it 3 times. It's just going to kind of jazz it up a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to change things up significantly for these next 2 beats. This next beat is in 6/8 again, but the feel of it is very different. This is more of what you would typically think of as a 6/8 beat. So you're going to be counting the 8th notes this time. This time we're going to be playing starting with both hands on the hi-hat. Now, don't be discouraged, even though this is all written as 30-second notes, it's actually at a very slow tempo, so it's still very manageable. So how the pattern basically works is that we're just going to be alternating the right hand and the left for the whole beat. And we're just going to be starting up on the hi-hat, and then occasionally we're going to come down to the snare. Both hands will come down, and we'll have 2 consecutive hits on the snare, and then go back up to the hi-hat. All right, so for this next exercise, number 4, things get really interesting here. We're taking what we just did, that 6/8 beat with the kind of weird 30-second notes going on, and we're actually going to rephrase that into 7/8 now. Whereas last time we played the same thing basically twice, right? We play it back to back. Now the second time through, basically the 4/8 part of the 7/8, we're gonna have we're gonna change up the ending, and we're gonna break up the pattern, have this kind of like weird off time thing going on. The beat itself is still actually not that complex, but just because of how the snare lands, where in the beat it lands, it might throw you a little bit for a loop. Okay, so for beat number 5, we're gonna go back to the feel that we had before. So it's gonna be the 6/8, where it's kind of that, 1, 2, 1, 2 sort of counting. We're going back to the right again. This time, the left hand is going between the snare and tom 1. And the kick drum, it's a little bit more interesting. It's got some upbeat stuff, makes it kind of a little funky feeling. Okay, so for this last exercise today, we're gonna build on top of what we just did on number 5. So number 6 is gonna be very similar, bass drum's gonna be the same. You'll see that in the first quarter note, we're actually adding in an extra little hit on the ride, kind of almost like making a little jazzy there. And then the left hand is going snare, tom 1, and tom 2 now. So we're kind of got like this opposing thing where we got like kind of like this weird jazzy funky thing going on at the beginning, and then at the end it's kind of very much more like straight rock. So I hope you guys found that interesting. Hopefully maybe it gets the creative juices going for you. Like I said, this is the first of 3 exercises. In the second set, what we're gonna focus on is beats they're gonna be a lot faster in tempo. They're gonna be a lot more kind of straight rock sort of things. And there's gonna be more focus on moving the left hand across the toms, kind of continuing where we left off here. Once that video comes out, it'll be available as a link right up here. I'll also have it in the description below. And of course, if you don't want to miss out when that gets released, and you want to get notified about other videos that I'm making, other lessons and gear reviews and play-alongs and whatnot, then please don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, peace.